All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Senior Marketing Specialist presents the Medicare Center Full Walkthrough and Training. My name is Olivia Richardson. I'm one of the Executive Sales Directors here at Senior Marketing Specialist and have used Medicare Center now over a year. Before that, again, we typically talk about the Connector platform. But really excited again. Welcome to, first of all, just welcome to everybody for day one of AEP. Hopefully everybody feels well rested and is ready to take on the next 8 weeks. So if you're interested in learning about non-face-to-face or face-to-face enrollment via the internet machine, you're in the right place. Really excited about the Medicare Center platform. Medicare Center platform, just to get some things out of the way first and foremost, the Medicare Platform Center is something that's offered by any Integrity partner. It is a shopping and enrollment platform utilized for Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. So all that being said, the way that it works, it does show all Medicare Advantage and PDP plans available in that area. It does show all of them. However, you'll only be able to enroll and send quotes for carriers that you have through an Integrity partner. What basically that means in layman's terms is that if you have your United Healthcare through Senior Marketing Specialist, but maybe you have your Aetna through like an agent pipeline or some other type of Integrity partner, you'll be able to enroll those carriers. Before I get into this any deeper, if there are any questions or comments, concerns, threats, or promises, please put them in the questionnaire box. Again, I like to keep these very informal. I like to keep them not very structured because this is your time and I want to make sure we're making the absolute most out of it. If you do have a question that's not necessarily relating to what we're talking about today, that's completely fine. Go ahead and ask that question. Just know that we're probably going to wait until the end of today's presentation to discuss that information. So without any further ado, just so everyone knows, in order to access Medicare Center, the first thing you're going to do is go to medicarecenter.com. Now, I'm going to show you guys today on a dummy account. Basically, it is fake. So you're going to see some weird kind of wonky-do things on my stuff that you're not necessarily going to see on yours. But anyway, you're going to go to medicarecenter.com, and if you already have a login, you'll click login. If this is the first time you've ever logged in, you'll click get started, and you will log in with your individual national producer number right there. If you have a corporation and you're typically used to writing with your corporate number, you are going to use your individual number. That's completely fine. That's actually how most carriers prefer it. The only carrier that might get you a little trip up on is United Healthcare. If you have a corporation with United Healthcare ties that to your corporate NPN. Again, they're the only carrier that does it this way. So if you have a corporate license with United Healthcare, you're going to have two logins. You're going to have one with your corporation national producer number and one with your individual. If you're going to enroll into United Healthcare, you will log in with your NPN of the corporate kind. Now, here's something I like to keep in mind. If you're going to write United Healthcare, quote people, do everything, quote shops, do everything with Medicare Center, but United Healthcare has a bonus right now for up to, I believe it's up to $70 or so, at least up to $50, to where if you complete their HRA program, they'll give you an extra money that's paid during AEP. A lot of programs like Anthem and Aetna also have programs like this. However, you can enroll through Medicare Center and still get those bonuses. United Healthcare is one of the only carriers that doesn't allow you to get that bonus using their software. So United Healthcare, if you're going to write United Healthcare, quote and enroll on Medicare Center, but then go ahead, quote on Medicare Center, but enroll using Lean, just so that you can get those extra dollars during AEP, which is super fun. So once you log in, you're actually going to see this right here. This is what Medicare Center looks like. Medicare Center is actually made up of 4 different platforms. Let me explain myself. There is Medicare App, Medicare Link, CSG, and then the Medicare Center CRM. Today, I'm going to spend the majority of focus talking about Medicare App. Medicare Link, you may know them as Sunfire. Medicare App is Connector. CSG is CSG, and this is, again, the new platform for Medicare Center. Just to give you guys a little idea, Medicare, if you guys like Sunfire, that's great. You can use the platform. we are very, very partial, and of course the creators of Medicare Center prefer Medicare App the most. Now that eventually will change. There's a ton of incentive and a ton of resources being used to this the actual Medicare Center. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Let me go ahead. I accidentally paused my screen. There we go. This is what you're going to see, excuse me. Medicare App, Medicare Link, CSG, and then the new Medicare Center platform. For right now, if it were me and working in my business, I would recommend utilizing Medicare App. It is the old Connecture platform. You guys might remember Connecture back around 3 years ago when Medicare.gov was accurate, when you could save drug lists, when everything was just peachy keen. That was Connecture. Essentially what happened was that the government thought that they could do this better than Connecture, gave Connecture the boot. Connecture then started marketing to FMOs. And so we have the services through them, while Medicare.gov has continuously been inaccurate, not allowed you to save drug lists, and just had a hard time. So we've already done some preliminary checks, and so far Medicare App, aka Connecture, has already proven to be more accurate than Medicare.gov. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to spend the majority of the day talking about this. This is specifically for Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. You do have access to CSG. CSG is for Medicare supplements and really all other lines of supplemental insurance. I will say, this is a secret between friends, I will mention that CSG does have the ability to enroll these plans as well. However, our office has seen quite a few issues. So that's something that's coming. We're really excited about that. But just right now, what we're recommending is actually not using the enrollment function of CSG and just using the carrier e-apps. Again, this is specifically for Medicare supplement and other ancillary styles of products. Really quick, let's just give you a quick walkthrough of the Medicare Center CRM. Now, this is the Medicare Center CRM. If you enter something in here and view information here, it does not auto-populate to Medicare App or Medicare Link. Again, they are still very separate platforms. So if whatever you put here does not auto-populate here and here. So if you click this, let's just again take a quick dive into what the Medicare Center CRM looks like. We'll just click View Contracts. And of course you can see here I have a fake name here. Now this does have a really cool feature is that you can import and export lists. So something that Medicare App, again the Connecture platform, what they don't have is that with Medicare App you have to enter every client in one by one. This one, as long as you have this, preferably in an Excel document, you can actually upload a list and it creates all of the profiles for you. The only thing you'll need to add after that is going to be their drug information, so on and so forth. So it's pretty neat. Let me come back here, go back to the dashboard. So here is, again, I have one contact. This will do everything from looking at or storing drug information, storing provider information. It can also look at plans, compare, and let you know what plans are going to be the most price competitive based on their prescriptions and based on their providers that they choose. So this one does everything very similar to Medicare, the Medicare App, aka Connecture. Just again, between friends, it's just this is the first year. This just launched, what's today, the 15th? This launched 15 days ago. So it is a great site. It does work very, very well. We're not seeing very many bugs on it. However, if it were me in my business, I would prefer to give it a year for other people to get on there, work out the bugs, figure out what's wrong with it. It's just not tried and true. I imagine come 2023 AEP, I imagine this is going to be the platform to use. I think it's going to fix a lot of issues. I'm just hesitant to recommend it yet because it is brand new. But again, it does allow you to send scope of appointments, all of that stuff. I don't want to take a ton of time on here today to talk about this. If you want additional training on the Medicare Center platform, you can go to smsteam.net. And then you'll scroll down to our Medicare Center portion of our website. And down here, we have a ton of Medicare Center training to go over the entire platform. And then we also have a ton of Medicare App training. And I'm going to go more into detail on Medicare App because that is the one that agents are talking about they're going to use for the 2022 AEP. So anything that I talked to you guys about today that you didn't catch on or you kind of forgot, you can find the videos to go over that here. So now let's dig into Medicare. Let me get out here. Let's dig into Medicare App. And again, guys, if you do have any questions or comments, please put them in that questionnaire box. Again, I just want to make sure I'm making the most out of your all's time. So to get started, obviously we're logged in. It says Medicare Center. It'll have your agency name here in the top right-hand corner. You have two options, 2022 and 2021. If you're writing an effective date of November or December 1st, then you are going to put 2021 app. If you're writing during AEP and beyond for a January 1 app, you're going to click 2022. It's important because they did make some significant upgrades between the two platforms. So this is what 2022 Medicare app looks like. And again, I'm working on a dummy site on a sandbox account. So mine's going to look different. You're not going to have that login page. I have that because, again, I'm on not a sand trap, sandbox. That's the word. I'm using a sandbox version of this. Okay, this is Medicare app. How do you know you're a Medicare app? It'll say right here in the top left-hand corner. Another thing you'll see is your first and last name here. Sometimes it'll have your agency name right here instead of your first and last name. That is completely fine. One really cool thing I want to show you guys, if you click on your name, of course it has these different things. You can run reports on like how many of what certain app are you writing, how many clients versus prospects do you have. It has a ton of cool stuff there. I'm going to take you to account overview. Click on that. And it's going to bring up two things. Number one, you can upload your picture into this. That's really cool, especially when you're not working with clients face-to-face. When you email a client quotes or you even email them an application, your picture will show up. Just another way to ensure them that build that relationship. It helps you with the marketing sides of things, helps you combat spam. Right here is the shopping link. You're going to copy that link. You can post this link on your Facebook page, your website. Essentially what it is a link for people that can go on and shop, compare, and enroll in their plans if they'd like to, and you as the agent get full credit. Now, you're not going to see a ton of utilization of people using this, and that's honestly for the best, because if people are utilizing it, that means we're out of a job. It is really nice for those baby boomers who are more technologically savvy, and they are also seeing that 58% of the buying process is done online before you even get involved. So those people that want a little extra, line of sight or want to do a little of their own research, it's a really great tool for them. So again, they can type in their zip code. I'm just going to use Boone County, where Senior Marketing Specialist is. Your name will be right here, your first and last name, and again, here they can shop for plans. Now, there is a different link for 2022 and 2021 plans. So just keep that in mind. So this is what that individual link will look like. Again, it's great advertising, great for shopping. Don't expect to get a ton of business off it, and which is, again, like I mentioned, probably a good thing. This is also, if you scroll down here, you can edit your first and last name. You can also check your permissions to make sure that you have all the carriers that you would like as well. Again, mine looks a little bit different because it's a dummy site. Let's go back to the dashboard. Now, if at any point, this is again what the dashboard looks like. You can look at some training materials. This is where you can get some great videos to kind of retrain yourself on this. You can also run reports about, carriers that you're enrolling in, things like that. If you ever just want to go directly to, maybe you're not working with the client, you just want to go directly into the plans that are available just to kind of see what's in an area. You're not necessarily working with the client. You can always access the plans by just clicking directly to the plans and putting in the zip code, similar to what you just saw on the consumer-facing page. Now, let's just say if you're going to create a new profile, this is the first time you're working with a client, it's pretty simple. Again, this software is extremely intuitive. It's very simple, but you would just click New Profile and click New Beneficiary. I've already made a dummy profile, and I say dummy, it is a profile made of myself, so I guess that's a dummy in its own right. But if you're looking for a previous profile that you've already made or a client you've already worked with through Medicare app, you'll just click search beneficiary. And you only need to type in a little bit, like 2 letters of the first and last name to be able to access it. This is all the information that you need, but of course, if you want to look and find some more in-depth details, you can put this up here as well. And then we'll click search profiles. Here's the client. Now, cool thing you'll see here is it says applicant. This means that I have enrolled this client using Medicare app in the past. If it's a new client, it'll have right here, it'll say registrant. So we'll go ahead, in order to access this client's name, we will click on the client's name. And I'll just kind of walk you through, guys. What this does is paint an excellent kind of passageway of what your appointment should look like when selling Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plans. Now you can see here to the right of it, it'll show every single thing I've done with this client since creating this profile. You can see every scope of appointments I've sent. You can see whenever that scope of appointments was returned. So it just keeps a dialogue of what I've done in this profile. Now here is all the client's information. Just make sure that the more information you fill out here, the more information that'll be filled out once you're completing an application. So it does pay off to take a little bit of extra time and just fill out this information. If they have a power of attorney, you can click yes here and enter in the information of that power of attorney, spouse or child, whoever they do all the work. Also down here, it shows information of any quote that I have emailed to the client, including the authorization code. I'll tell you more about what that is here in a little bit. And it shows all the previous enrollments I've done with this client. Super helpful because you're able to actually view the applications, because you have to keep applications and really all content related to that agent, or excuse me, to that client, for at least 10 years. So this automatically stores it for you. It also comes with a confirmation when you're checking this business. This confirmation number can be used whenever you're checking the statuses of the applications with the carriers themselves. So whenever you're moving on through a profile, you have 2 options. You can either come down here and move and kind of follow along the pathway that the profile is taking you to. So the next step here would be continue to scope of appointment, or you can click on the client's name and go through the steps and the processes here. So right now we're on profile. Let's move on to the scope of appointment. Now, Medicare app allows you to both text and email a scope of appointment to your client. I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. It automatically populates it based on the information that I put in their profile. So in order for them to text the scope of appointment, the client does have to have a smartphone. So the old Motorola Razr won't work here. They have to have some sort of phone with internet capability. Let me walk you guys through what it looks like when we email a scope of appointment. Again, a scope of appointment is super simple. If you take a paper scope of appointment, but you would like to store it in Medicare Center, you'll just click upload here. And to view any previous scope of appointment, like this one that was completed on the 8th, you'll just click here, and it'll actually download a copy of that scope of appointment. So while I email this scope of appointment, I just want to let you know as well that the scope of appointments here are not sent to the carriers. They're only stored in Medicare app. That is fine for almost all carriers. The only carriers where that looks like it's going to be an issue is going to be Cigna and SilverScript. Both Cigna and SilverScript actually require the scope of appointment to be submitted with that app. All the other carriers like Humana, United Healthcare, and Aetna, they do not require the scope of appointment to be submitted. They require a scope of appointment, they just don't require it to be submitted. You have to store it for 10 years in case you get audited. So what we recommend is actually writing the confirmation number that comes from the app on the scope of appointment and submitting it in for carriers like Cigna and SilverScript. Okay, so now it's letting me know that I generated an email to Olivia, the client, and that's going to have the scope of appointment. It also is now asking me if I want to set a task or a reminder about the scope of appointment. So if I wanted to, I could click add task, and it created that task. And again, that's just going to show up on my dashboard, reminding me that I need to follow up on that scope of appointment. So I'm actually going to take you to my inbox, and I'll click refresh here. So this is the email that your clients are going to get. It's going to come from Do Not Reply, Scope of Appointment, has the Medicare app. And then if you scroll down here, this is where your picture will be as the agent. It'll also have your name first and last. So click Complete Scope of Appointment Form. And it looks exactly just like any other paper or electronic scope of appointment. You'll want them to go ahead and fill out and just encourage them to check all these boxes so you can talk to them about anything. Make sure this information is correct. Again, it auto filters from what it looks like in their profile. Now, here's something to consider. If they change something, like right here, it says I have a capital I there. If I put that to a lowercase I, and let's say I change my address to 801 Gray Oak Drive. Ooh. If they change any information here, it'll automatically change it in your system. So just make sure that if their first and last name is Olivia Richardson, but they actually go by Jordan Richardson because they just are terrible at nicknames, and if they change this to Jordan, it'll actually change their profile. So just keep that in mind. This box right here states that checking this box states that's their signature. That says all they need for that signature. They'll click Submit Form, and then they'll get this one. Thank you for submitting this scope of appointment. Now let's go back to your Medicare app. We click Refresh here. And there it is, completed by Olivia Richardson. See how I changed the I? It was capital, now it's lowercase. That's because the client changed it. All you'll do at this point is click Complete Form. It'll have you scroll here. Again, of course, make sure your information is correct. We're going to write Medicare Advantage Hospital Indemnity Plan. Here you go. You check this box. You can sign here with your mouse or finger if you have like I'm signing with my mouse. You can tell because it's so pretty. You can also sign with your finger if you have a touch screen capability, and then submit broker form. Voila. You have submitted your scope of appointment, completed at 10:15. Here's a confirmation number for that scope of appointment. So again, it's a really slick platform. If you're face-to-face with the client, I don't recommend using this because it does require they kind of have to get into either their phone or their email. It's just easier to just do like a paper or a telephonic scope if you're face-to-face. If you're not face-to-face though, this is a game changer. This is literally the easiest scope of appointment that I've seen, especially non-face-to-face. So next, of course, we can come down here to add preferences or go up to the client's name and click to preferences. What the preferences are is the stuff that's actually going to make a difference in what plan you recommend to your clients. It's going to be where you add in the providers, drug information, pharmacy, everything. So first you're going to click what kind of plan are they wanting. So they want a Medicare Advantage plan with prescription drug plan. But depending if you click on prescription drug, anything that involves prescription drug is now going to ask you if you receive any extra help. This is talking about Medicaid or Medicare savings programs. It's really important that you know and you're accurate on this because if they are receiving some assistance on Medicaid for the prescription drugs, otherwise known as LIS, then that is going to affect the cost of the prescriptions and the cost of the plan. So if they are, again, making sure that if they're not eligible, you mark that. If they are getting some level of LIS, make sure you put in the correct levels. If you're not familiar with what LIS stands for, low income subsidy, if you're not familiar with Medicare savings programs, Medicaid, things like that, call our office. We're more than happy to kind of walk you through what those are and how they affect your clients. So let's go up here. That's getting started. Next portion is actually the health portion of this. This is just going to be what kind of information you're putting about this client. This is also going to affect what plan Medicare Center recommends. If somebody is generally healthy and between the ages of 65 and 69, it might recommend plans that have lower premiums, but maybe they have higher out-of-pocket, higher co-pays, things like that. They're just not anticipating somebody utilizing the plan that much. Vice versa, if you're 85 years old with significant health needs, it might recommend a plan that has higher premiums, but it's much better for higher utilization. So I'm going to put that for 65 to 69 and generally healthy. Next is the providers portion of it. Again, very, very important. This will actually show you if that person's providers are in network in that plan, which is pretty neat. So let's go ahead and change it. See if they can find some Columbia providers. If you're not looking in a wide enough area and you're just like wanting it to be a, show a broader area, what you'll do is you'll click this minus button and then search this area. It's just making it a broader area. So let me see. Let's see if I can look up. Let's see who takes Boone Sioux University of Missouri. That is a hospital network here. So let's say, let's see, a nurse practitioner. We'll add that provider, and psychiatric care. Let's do, I don't know what a curator is. That sounds like something I should know. Anyways, so let's just say we'll take out, and again, because this is a CRM meets enrollment system, it does save any provider you put in the past, so you can alter that here. You can also send this to your clients and they can add in their own provider information. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a little bit. So add in these providers. Let's just say this nurse practitioner, perfect. Next step, we'll go ahead and click on prescriptions. But prescriptions, again, this does store drug information. So if you do have a client that does utilize the mymedicare.gov, really cool feature that this has is Medicare Blue button. What you'll do is you'll type in the client's name or just have the name, the email address that is defaulted into the system. You'll send an email. What this does, it'll have the client basically grant Medicare Center permission and to pull information from mymedicare.gov. What that actually means is that it'll look at any prescription claim that client has made and automatically upload that prescription, dosage and all, into this system. So it's not a big deal if you're working with somebody who takes maybe 2 medications, but when you start working with somebody who takes 15 to 20 medications, it could really save you some time. Just a nice little added benefit. This system will also let you know if there is a generic available for that prescription. So for example, if a client takes Lipitor, they'll put that in here, type in the name. Of course, it'll default to what's most commonly prescribed. Of course, you can edit that. And if there's a default available, it'll let you know and ask if you would like to use the default instead. You can also send your clients a list or send your clients their own profile and they can update their own list of medications, which is pretty slick. Next is the pharmacy portion. Again, they can come down here, and I'm in Hannibal here, so let me get rid of my Hannibal ones. Of course, let's go to 63469. Search, see what's available in that area. It says no pharmacy results. Oh, that's because I'm in Shelbyville there. 65201. What year is it? Okay. So then if you're not finding your pharmacy here, you can either type in the pharmacy's name or come to here, zoom out a little more, and then click search this area. So let's add Walgreens, and let's do Flo's a nice local one. Again, you can search, I believe, up to 6 pharmacies at once. And let's do universities. So you can set which one you want the pharmacy or the primary to be. Other preferences not required, but just good information to include. Things like if your client is interested in Part B give back, dental or vision, hearing, of course, as well as if they have any of these chronic conditions as well. Again, just to help kind of let the system know, the algorithm know which plans to recommend, it'll call it something called a preference score. So once you fill out all this information, you can either click go to plans here or click continue, and it takes you to the available plans in that area. Let it load. Now, this is going to default to carriers that you have through an integrity partner. So if you have, your United Healthcare or your Blue Cross Blue Shield or your Anthem through another carrier, through a carrier that's not an integrity partner, it won't initially show up here. However, if you want to be able to look at all plans, including plans that you don't even hold a contract with, you'll come here at the top and click add non-licensed plans. But before I do that, I'm going to switch it here as well. 65201. Boone County, The 63462 is what I had in the client's profile. Now that I put this here, it'll update it to that prescription, or excuse me, to that zip code. Now, at any point in time, the client's like, you know what, I'd rather start looking at prescription drug plans, or I just want to look at standalone Medicare Advantage plans. You can change that at any time by clicking these tabs. Very simple. It does have the option to shop and compare Medicare supplements. Again, between friends, giving you an unbiased opinion, don't use the Medicare supplement search function on Medicare app. It works. It's fine. CSG is better for quoting and shopping Medicare supplements. So for Medicare app, stick to MA and PDPs. So here right now, it's going to sort automatically what plan is on top. It searches by preference score. That's what it defaults to. Preference score, again, takes everything we talked about and everything we put on those preferences and just said which plan might be a better fit. What people will mostly want to shop by is going to be total estimated costs. And it's going to estimate that cost from the effective date till the end of the year. So this is going to estimate this based on a January 1 effective date. So let's just do a quick look at this. If we scroll down here, we see this plan. We can see, first of all, the providers I put in there for 4, 0 out of 2 of them are in network for United Healthcare, this particular plan. Both of my prescriptions are covered. It looks like I'm going to have a 0 cost for my drugs throughout the entire year. And the pharmacy, my Walgreens pharmacy, is considered a standard in-network plan. It also is going to let me know that based on my premium and my health choices, the health information I put on there, I can expect throughout the entire year to spend around $570 for the entire year based on my health. Let's go ahead. If we want to see some more details about the plan, you'll just click here, plan details. Very simple. It makes sense. I told you, very intuitive. And then you can see here all the information that you have to give based on, the summary of benefits and all of that stuff. It's all right here. All the co-pays, deductibles, everything. If you scroll down here, it'll even go more into detail about the provider. So neither this nurse practitioner or this specialist is going to be in network. So that may change if I want this plan or not. Now, if we scroll up here, something else that makes a huge difference is actually the cost of prescriptions. As we all know, prescriptions make the biggest difference in how much somebody can plan to pay on their health throughout the year. So here it's going to show you how these are covered. So it says here, my generic my Lipitor generic says that the retail is $320 before the gap, during the gap, and after the gap. So it says basically, it's letting me know how much I can expect to pay for this plan. Pay for this plan based on these prescriptions throughout the entire year. Now, if I want to change what pharmacy I'm using, and even maybe compare it against mail order options, the other pharmacies I can click here to just kind of compare how it would look any different. And mail order will always be an option to compare it against. Pretty smooth, pretty easy. So if I'm face to face with this client and I want to go ahead and send them this application or fill out the application, I'll click add to cart. If I'm not face to face with this client and I want them to use this and just to take a look at this company to see if it's something that they're interested in, I'll click send quote. You can actually send up to 3 carriers to a person at one time, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go back to the previous page. Now let's just say I want to compare 3 plans side by side, or I want to send 3 plans side by side to my client. Go ahead and wait for this to load. Pretty simple though. What I will do, if you see here, I know it's dark because the page is loading, but you see this add to compare button, you'll check this. This will allow you to compare 3 plans side by side. Let's do that one, and let's do this choice PPO. Click 3 up to 3, and then click compare now. And as I wait for it to load, here are the plans side by side. Everything from star ratings to premiums, let you know what you can expect to spend on the health cost annually and drug cost annually. Max amount of pockets at each copay, really does, again, help you shop with a client on what plan might be better suited for their lifestyle or better suited for their wallets. If you want to email this to a client, you'll just click send quote. It'll default to their cell phone number and their email address on file. And then you can write them a little message like, enjoy your time in Arizona. Send quote. And it's going to send them 2 emails. We're going to say, one email will have this authorization code. One email will have the link for the plan. The reason for that is because essentially what you're doing is sending over HIPAA sensitive information. You're sending over their name, birth date, health information. So it just will have 2 emails for them to just verify that it's them. Just a little added safety measure. So they'll get these 2 emails. One will have the access code. They'll just come down here, copy and paste. Again, it'll have your picture here and name. And then they'll come down here, click view quote. They'll put in, again, your picture will be right here as well. Put in that authorization code. Continue. Oops. Let me do this again. And again, this is consumer facing. So then I'll say, hi, Olivia, enjoy your time in Arizona, your name here. And this is where, again, they can look at these plans side by side. And if they decide they want to enroll themselves in one, they can click add to cart. This is also where they can go ahead and say, oh, well, here's, again, maybe they aren't taking metformin anymore. Maybe they're not using Walgreens anymore. They can also edit their own drug list here as well. Again, this could ultimately save you a ton of time, especially if you're planning on meeting with a lot of current clients. When they update their drug list here, it'll automatically update it in your profile. Pretty slick. Okay, so let's go back again to your profile as a client. So basically up until this point, it's been the exact same. If you've been meeting with a client face-to-face or meeting with a client over the phone, the difference has been you're either clicking add to cart or send quote. Now let's just say you perform an entire appointment, either you're over the phone or the entire appointment face-to-face. Now it's time to enroll them in the plan. Let me walk you through what this process looks like. Now just a reminder, I am using a sandbox site. So I'm actually going to walk through what it looks like to submit an application. Please do not submit fake applications on your accounts because your accounts are live. If you submit an application to Anthem, Anthem is actually going to get that application. So please do not do this on yours. I'll show you what it looks like on mine if you want more training on it. Of course, there are videos as well. So right now what you're going to do, if you're face-to-face or over the phone, you've already done the entire presentation, what you're going to do is click add to cart. It's saying, are you sure you want this Humana plan? Gives you the drug number, or excuse me, the contract number and everything. You now have 2 options. One says send to beneficiary to sign and submit, and the other says complete and submit for myself. If you are face-to-face, if the client is there, you will click complete and submit for myself. If you are not face-to-face with your client, you will click send to beneficiary to sign and submit. What this does is you complete the entire application, and then instead of submitting it to the carrier, it'll send an email to the client, basically just to review the information, sign the application, and submit it. So easy, so streamlined. The client literally signs their name, and if the signature is an electronic signature, they type in their name, and that covers it. So let's go ahead and I'll just walk you through the process to submit the application. So I'm going to click submit and complete and submit more form myself, and then continue to apply. And it seems like it's raining here. So if you guys hear some water droplets, it's raining over here. Okay, it's now just letting me know that it is continuing to the enrollment portion of Humana. That's fine, we're gonna say continue. Now notice in the entire time it'll have the client's name here in the upper right hand corner as well as the plan over here and all the additional information about that plan here to the side as well. It'll automatically fill out the information based on what you put in the client's profile. So this is a Mrs. Olivia Richardson, date of birth 1950. She's a female. Here's her number. Again, all of this should look very familiar. It's what is in that client's profile. So we'll just come in here, make sure all the information is correct. We'll click next. Again, continuing to make sure all the information is correct. The only thing it doesn't automatically populate is the Medicare number. Again, just an added feature for security. So just keep that in mind. You will have to, it will not pull the Medicare number from the client's profile. We want this to be effective January 1, 2021. We will not have any other form of prescription drug coverage. Again, you're answering the same questions you would on an application. It's just much faster. It does say here that this is asking for the primary care physician number. It says optional. It's not optional. We all know that it is a compliance violation to not include that primary care physician number. So again, make sure that you put one in here. So I'm just going to put, make sure it's the correct one. You can look and find out, what that TCP number is for the client. There is a provider search on the previous page, or you can go to smsteam.net, click on our AEP toolkit. We have all the provider searches there as well. If you don't know how to do that, call our office. We're more than happy to walk you through that. It's going to ask us how is the client going to pay their premium. Even if the premium shows as $0, you still have to include the payment information because sometimes you may not be aware of a penalty or something a client has. So it gives you all the different ways to pay. You can click obviously EFT, through their Social Security, or via a coupon book. So I'm going to click coupon book because I don't want to enter in any of my banking information here today. We put yes. Blessing Hospital. Yeah. Moving on. And again, guys, if you have any questions, interrupt me. I'll just talk until I'm blue in the face. Here again, we're looking at the reviewing the information, just making sure you put everything in here is correct. Again, letting the client know that by completing this form, they are enrolling into Medicare coverage. Basically, why that is extra protection for the agent. A lot of back in the day, as we all know, in Medicare Advantage plans were sold like, hey, do you want a free gym membership? Sign up for this plan, and there is actually an insurance plan. So it's just, again, some extra protection to make sure the client knows that they are being enrolled in plan. Again, understanding they're getting ready to sign an application, checking that box. I'm not a power of attorney. I am the person listed on the form. Now, here's the cool part. They have two options to sign this. If you're on an iPad or you have a touchscreen capability, or they can sign with their mouse here. Or if they don't want to do that, by clicking this box, due to physical limitations, I'm unable to sign my name. They click that box and they can type in their name as well. And this is counting as their signature. Reminder, if you are not face-to-face with your client, if you type their name in for them, that is forgery because it is considered their signature. That is why if you're not face-to-face with the client, you do have to do the other option in which you complete the application and email them over this signature portion. Do not type a client's name on their behalf. It is forgery. Again, confirm all this information is correct. We do not have permission to call my cell phone for marketing purpose. I do not want to share my prescription information, blah, 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 blah. You click submit. And should be voila. Click submit. And I am enrolled. Got it. So this, again, right now it's saying unable to process my application. Reminder, I am on a dummy site. This is a sandbox. So right now it's letting me know that I'm unable to process the application, again, probably because, again, I'm on a dummy site. But once you do submit the application, it'll take you to a separate page. It'll have the plan. It'll look very similar to this, the plan and information of the client there. It'll also include a confirmation number here as well. Again, if you're writing for a company like Cigna or SilverScript that requires a scope of appointment be submitted, you will take that confirmation number, put it on the scope of appointment, and fax it on into the office. So that is, guys, the basics of Medicare Center as well as Medicare App. Again, it is an incredible system. Just to reiterate, I do strongly recommend using Medicare App for 2022 AEP. I imagine by next year, the Medicare Center platform is going to be beautiful and gorgeous, and probably by then I will be recommending that we switch over to this new platform. Me personally, I am not what you would call an early adopter, so I would like to see what kind of mistakes and what kind of bugs we're going to find on this platform on other people while I continue to use Medicare App, at least for one more year. Again, I do think eventually, just between friends, I think eventually this platform, the Medicare Center platform, will be the superior platform. It will be, I have no doubt. I just am nervous to try it on October 15th when it's been live for only 15 days. All right, guys, so any questions, comments, or concerns? Just a couple reminders. Again, you do have to have the carrier through a Medicare, or excuse me, through a Integrity partner to be able to enroll in that plan. If you have a corporate writing number with United Healthcare, you will have 2 logins, one for United Healthcare, one with everything else. This does require internet access, but it is mobile friendly, so it is friendly on things like your phone as well as iPads. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in that question chat. That is the best way to ask questions, is through the questionnaire chat. It is on your dashboard. So if you do have any questions or comments, please put them there as well. Anything else, guys? Again, appreciate you taking time today to walk through Medicare App with me. If you do have more questions on this, do not hesitate to give me a call. I'm here to help you out any way I possibly can. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to learn with me today. So Kylie was asking if we're going to walk through the Medicare supplement application. So just reminder, for Medicare App, really honestly, for Medicare Center as a whole, Medicare Center works best for prescription drug plans and Medicare Advantage plans. They do include CSG here, which CSG does have enrollment capabilities for some Medicare supplement companies. However, our company, Senior Marketing Specialists, have noticed that a lot of flaws are in the enrollment system from CSG. We see a lot of pending applications, missing information. So we are still seeing there's quite a bit of bugs being worked out, which nobody wants to deal with during AEP. So right now for Medicare supplements, we are encouraging people to quote and shop with CSG, but go ahead and enroll those Medicare supplement carriers through platforms, through the carrier e-applications. Again, eventually CSG, I think they'll work out all the bugs. They put a lot of effort into it. Currently, though, we are seeing a lot of errors. And again, between friends, just want to make sure that I'm giving you guys unbiased advice. And right now, for MedSups, use the carrier apps. Plus, a lot of carriers right now are having some bonuses for using their e-application. So nice, they'll pay you twice. Any other questions in regards to Medicare Center? Any questions not regarding to Medicare Center? Anybody interested in what I had for breakfast or how AEP is going for us? All, 14 hours in so far. All right, guys. Well, again, appreciate you all. Have an amazing AEP this year. If you have any questions or comments, I do want to show you guys. If you go to Senior Marketing Specialist website, smsteam.net, one of the coolest features that we have is if you scroll down here, go to AEP Toolkit, it'll make you log in. And let me go ahead and log in really quick. AEP Toolkit, a really cool feature that we have, again, is a ton of really good stuff about, how to submit applications. It has information about if you haven't done your certifications yet, has specific scope of appointments, has marketing materials, CMS materials, also cross-selling tools. There's a ton of really awesome tools on here that you should be using. So if you have a contract with Senior Marketing Specialist, make sure you're getting the most out of that. and using these resources. For example, this was a really cool pharmacy flyer that goes over what the 2022 drug costs are going to be. You can put your information here as an agent. It's a really great reference tools that pharmacies love to use. So on that note, thank you guys so much. We will see you next time. If you have any questions, give us a call, 1-800-689-2800. Again, Senior Marketing Specialist phone number is 1-800-689-2800. Oh, Edward, great question. Really quick, and as I'm getting off, Edward says, what are our 2 top recommendations for dental plans? Honestly, right now, my top recommendations for dental plans, one of them is going to be Central United Life. Well, actually, it's changed its name to Manhattan Life. Love Manhattan Life. They are, again, a great carrier, and I also love Aetna because Aetna has a great, wonderful, strong brand name, and Aetna is one of the top carriers for ancillary products. So Aetna and Manhattan Life both have incredible dental plans. For more information on our dental plans, you can go to smsteam.net, click on products. You can put in here, you're looking for dental vision hearing plans. Type in your state. What I would do is I would put in my state and then leave the carrier blank just so I can see what's available. And here's all the information about DVH plans in Missouri. There's Aetna's. All right, guys, you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a happy Halloween, a wonderful Thanksgiving, and a Merry Christmas. Thanks, guys.